Okay, Tim is asking, is there a button to stop recording the screen? And yes, there are, and there are several other buttons. So this is a good time to review what are your options for the screen recorder. As I said, now is a good time to maybe go through all the features of the screen recorder. It's one of those things that's overlooked. People are always taking pictures of their Filmora screen when they're asking a question, but if they could just record something, it would be a little easier. So let's just go through how to do screen recording and the options. And in the process, we'll answer Tim's question, what is the stop and go button? So of course, you have to be on the media tab, and then you have this record function right here, and you open that up and you choose record PC screen. Now when I click this, it will bounce me off Filmora because it's assuming that what you're doing is you're recording something else on the computer screen. And so if you want to record what's happening in Filmora, you need to go and click on your taskbar, which is just out of view here for the recording, to bring you back into Filmora. Now you still have your bar here. And by the way, this little tool right here is very handy because it sends you, and in my case it sent me off the recording screen. I'm using a different recorder to actually record this, but it makes it a small icon, and it puts it up in the upper left-hand corner. And then when you want to get back, you can use the start and stop there, of course, with your mouse. But if you want to get back to the full picture, that's a good way. Another feature here is this dual monitor. For those of you using two monitors on your computer and you want to record what's happening on the other monitor, this is the way that you switch back and forth. And I have only one screen, so I can't show it to you. But if you had two screens, they would appear there, and you can click on that to select the other side and do your recording. Very handy. The next thing here, of course, is the size. It defaults to the full screen, but you can choose custom or target. The custom will allow you to actually set the dimensions, and right now I'm a little bit out of the recording zone, but you'll get something that would allow you to center on what it is that you want to show. So if you want to, it's kind of like cropping. So if you want that, that's a good way to go. The next option is target window. I have a rather large monitor, 49 inches wide, and it looks terrible if I'm trying to display something on YouTube. So anyway, if I hit target window, what you'll see is I get this red bar here. And in this case here, you can see I could actually select the Filmora screen the way it's set up on the monitor. So if you have a large monitor and you want to just select one of the windows that are open on the monitor, I guess even if you have a small one, and you want to select just one thing that's visible on the monitor, then you would choose that option. And I don't know if you can see all of it, but there's a blue line now around what I would record. So that's all the basic stuff. No, I guess I skipped over this. These three options here could be turned on or turned off. In this case, the web camera is turned off, so there's no camera to select here. If you see a line through either of these two, particularly your microphone, then any recording sounds that you're going to be providing will not be included. So make sure that your microphone is plugged in and that you see this little blinking light, which is your volume level. Likewise, on your speaker, if you have a line through the speaker, then whatever sound is being played, for example, if you're recording a video game and you want all the sounds, or something else is happening on the screen that has a sound to it, you want to make sure this is turned on, and this is be wherever your whatever speakers that you normally use for playing the audio portion of your videos or whatever it is that you play. And you could be looking at a YouTube video and whatever, and there's an audio and you want to capture part of that audio as well. You can use it right here, but you have to make sure that it's turned on. If it's turned off like this, then you won't be recording any screen sounds. So if you want screen sounds, make sure you have this turned on. Okay, that's all the basic stuff that you can do right here. But what most people overlook is this little settings icon here, which would allow you to expand and wow, look at all these options. And let's just take them from the top and go down. And eventually we'll get to Tim's question here at the bottom. This camera screen merging or camera screen splitting, it's really an either or. If you have a webcam plugged in and you're doing a screen recording, your image would be down in the lower right hand corner or wherever you choose to drag it to. But if you activate the screen splitting, then you're turning off the screen merging. And what you're actually doing within Filmora is you're recording 2 tracks simultaneously. You're recording yourself, your webcam, that presumably is looking at you, and you're recording also the screen. And when you go into your Filmora project, you can now then take your separate video track for your webcam and place it back on. Actually, it will be on the timeline, but you can choose then how you want to handle it. So that's what this option does. Naming your video is self-evident, and the save to location, choosing your folder where you want to save it is self-evident. You know, you might want to save it within your project or something, so you don't have to constantly be dragging it over. Frame rate, whatever, make sure you're matching your project, and the quality. And this really is just low, recommended a higher, but you can choose that. Countdown. Now the default on the countdown is 3 seconds. That's the countdown timer that you see at the beginning when you hit the record button. And its default is 3 seconds. And I kind of hate waiting that long when I'm doing some recording, so I've changed my default to 1 second. And the stop recording timer, that's, I guess, is if you're doing time lapse over a longer period of time. And this one is interesting. The default is hide the mouse gestures. And you'll notice that I can't go into show mouse gestures here until I decide to turn hide mouse gestures off. I think that should have been an on-off button. But once you have the show the mouse clicks, then, and I happen to like the little red ring that comes up, but each time you click on the screen, you'll get whatever this color is that you've selected as your default. The default is the Filmora color, but you might want to use one of the other colors. And of course, play the mouse click sounds. That only makes sense. I mean, you could turn it off if it's going to interfere with some other audio in your demonstration. But if you're trying to point something out, it's an audible alert, just like this is a visible alert to the viewer that you're doing something on the screen. Okay, Tim, here's your question. If you are having one recording session, in other words, you want everything to be within one video clip, use the F10 button to start and stop your recording session. If you want to make separate video clips of your recording session, then use the F9. Whenever you use the F9 to stop recording, then it will end that recording session and you will be starting a new one when you start again. So F10 is start and stop for pause, and F9 is for ending the recording session. As far as the GPU goes, hopefully the computer, when you install Filmora, determined whether your video card is capable of giving the acceleration or not. If it's turned off and you don't have a current or modern video card with RTX, I would recommend leaving it off, as it will just slow things down. If you do have a modern card that can use the benefits of GPU acceleration, but for some reason you want to not have it enabled, go ahead and turn it off. But for the most part, I would just leave that alone. So those are the features of the screen recorder. And you really should be using it whenever you're posting a question even. It's nice to see what's happening on your screen. And those of us who would like to help out other people can actually pick up a lot of things from what's visible on the screen. And sometimes those phone pictures or phone videos aren't very good and don't really tell the whole story. So I hope this helps you.